Hi everyone. Let's go ahead and see how you can implement custom state with your agent. As of now, we have been seeing their implicit state management. So in implicit state management, what happened? You have your state, which is going to be something like this. So you have your state, and then this state is going to be a dictionary. And in the dictionary, you are going to have here messages, and then you have here a list, and then your message 1, and then you have message 2 and the message 3, and so on. So this is a standard state, agent state, or you would say, I would say definitely here, in fact. So this is going to be the agent state, and that is defined as the state. All right, so this agent state is defined here as the state. So this is the original one, implicit one. But here we are going to see that how you can define your custom state by extending the agent state. And also I will show you here that how you can utilize this custom agent state to manage so many things. So the default agent state manages only the list of the messages, something like this. But if you define a custom agent state, then you can define as per your own preference. In this particular lesson, we will be seeing user preferences, session data, and the task history. All right. So these things can be done there. Moreover, we'll be seeing here the user preferences only, but later on, obviously, you can extend that to the session data and the task history as well. All right. So the first of all, what I do here, I import all the necessary packages. I import here annotated, chat Ollama, agent state, and the create agent. Thereafter, I also import add messages, and also I import here the tool. But as you know here that we are going to use the custom agent state, and in the custom agent state, we are also going to, first of all, implement here a couple of tools so that we can store our information here. So currently, information is stored like this. All right, so you have explanation, preferences, code style. So this is something which I got from the sample, the code, but I'm just going to delete that so that I can show you. You will be seeing output something like that only. Let's go ahead and implement the tool here. So first of all, I need to implement here a class for the tool configuration. So class tool config. And as soon as I call this tool config, it is going to initialize user preference as empty dictionary. And then temp dir is going to be this particular path plus the Langchain tools. And then I make sure that a new directory is created here. Then I initialize my tool config, and thereafter in the tool config, what I do here, I put my config.temp.dir. Basically, I get this temp.dir, and on the top of this Langchain tools directory, I put the user preferences.json. Once I get the preference file, thereafter what I do, so I write a method save user preference, and then I decorate it with the tool so that I can make it a Langchain tool. And here is the doc string so that our agent can know that which particular tool it need to call and when it need to call. So the key and the value pair comes here in the user preferences, and all those are going to be stored here. So in the user preference config.the user preference, this is where it is going to be stored here. And then save to file for persistence. So it is going to be stored in the file, and the file is going to come from the pref file which we have got here. So that is the user preferences.json. And in case of any exception, it is going to throw the exception. So this is the way how you store user preference, and this is the another way how you read user preference. So you define here get user preference method, and you decorate it with the tool, and this is the doc string. Thereafter you try it. Basically, you put it into the try and accept block, and then you say here if not config.user preferences. Basically, if there is no user preferences, all right, then you check here that if pref.file exists and open this. So basically what you do here, config.user preferences JSON load. So basically you load your JSON in the user.preferences. All right. So basically if there is no preference in the config file, all right, if there is no preference present in the config file, then in that case, it is going to load a new preference. Otherwise, it will keep the older one. then it gets here user preference, and then it is printing here whatever it is, right? So either it comes beforehand, otherwise it is going to print here after reading it from the user preference. Thereafter we write here our exception block. All right, so that's all we do here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and execute this code here. So what I do here, I execute. Now in the tool, that part is imported here. It is very necessary. In fact, I should restart it. And let's go ahead and execute this. Now, those two tools will be loaded here. As soon as we had loaded our file here, basically we restarted and executed this particular cell, then you see this new directory is created here. As of now, that user preference JSON is not created, but that will come and that will get stored here later on once we implement this whole thing. Then we have our understanding the default agent state. First, let's understand what the default agent states provide. So first of all, what I do here, I print custom state for memory management. Okay. So the first of all, I defined custom agent. This custom agent class is extending the agent state, and this is going to be the docstring, simple docstring. So this is the message. So this one is going to be used as the default, and this is how we define our message with the annotated list and the add messages. So whatever the message comes into the state, that will automatically get added into the messages. And these are the custom user preferences which we have defined here. Like user preference is going to be the dictionary, and the session data is also going to be the dictionary. Perfect. We have defined here everything. So our custom agent class, custom agent state is defined here. Let's go ahead and create a model here. So I create my model, chat Ollama with the Queen 3 model. And thereafter I create my agent here. So the one thing you will notice here that is state schema. So in a state schema, we provide the agent state. So this particular state, so that we can override the default one where it has only messages. The other thing you will notice, the tools.save user preference and the get user preference that we had imported already from the tools here. So all these things are implemented in tools.py file. So this is all you do here, and thereafter we print here that agent is created with the custom state, and all these things are done here as it is. Let's go ahead and create agent with the custom state. So we print our testing custom state features, saving preferences. So the first test, save multiple preferences. User message is like this: please save these user preferences for me. Explanation preference, technical explanations and the detailed examples, code style, and the output format. So all these things it is going to save into the JSON file basically. All right, so the user input is here, and then the message is going to come like this, and then the session data is like this. So this is going to define that the session ID and the start time. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and execute this and then see if this is stored here in the JSON file in the Langchain tools. So as I see here that user preference.json is stored here. So it says here, we have our explanation preference, code style, and the output format, all these. All right, perfect, excellent. So this is how you can override using the tool method. So moreover, the two things we are looking here, that how you can customize your agent state, and also you can track your output here basically. All the traces you can trace here at the Langsmith. So you have your message, you have your session data in that session ID and the state, start time, all these things are here. All right, in the output, you have your messages here. All right, and in the messages, you have list of all the messages like the human message, you have all these stuffs here like AI message, and all these things are there. But as you move here in the agent form here, then you will again notice you have messages, the content, additional response, session data, and all these steps. Basically, by default, it takes the 25 steps. Maximum it can operate over the 25 steps in one time by default, basically, if you don't define anything. And then it calls the model, and thereafter it calls the tools, save preferences, save user preferences. Once again, it calls. So every time it calls a tool for multiple preferences, whatever the preference your LLM decide to save. And then finally, everything is saved. Thereafter, it end your execution at this particular step here. As you scroll it down at the bottom, remaining step is 22 yet, but output is going to be end here. So this is where it ends. In meantime, I think I should tell you here that you can watch all the video here available, Langchain version 1. Come to the KGP Talkie channel, go into the playlist, and you can watch everything here. And the code file is already provided here at my GitHub repository, Lakshmi Merit Langchain V1 agents. Perfect. And this is overall the agent architecture which we are currently implementing here. Let's go ahead and see how you can read this user preference with the LLM itself. So I ask here a question, what preferences do I have here? All right, please explain preference, code style, and all these things. All right. So I invoke my agent with the message. All right. And thereafter with the session data. So the session data is already defined here in each result here. As you check this result here. All right. So in the result, you already have this session data, which we had passed separately. So that session data we are going to pass here as a by default here. All right. Everything is going to be like this only. Let's go ahead and run this and then see the output here. So it is going to call the tool and thereafter it is going to read. And then it says that explanation preference is this, code style is this, and output format is this. All right. So this is the overall agent response. All right. Perfect. So this is how you can implement the custom state in your agent. You can override default agent state. You can create your own class and then you can extend agent state so that you can implement here various fields as per your choice. All right, so this is all about in this lesson. I hope you have liked this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe this channel so that whenever I publish new videos, you can get the update. Bye-bye. Take care.